Have y'all heard about the new credit scoring system that these apartments are using for approval?
Indeed.
You've got to hear this. You have to. So, normally whenever you apply for an apartment, they look at everything. Your rental history, background check, debt to income ratio, all that or whatever. And normally you end up having to pay a double deposit if your score is not where it really needs to be, which is fine. Let me tell y'all, they're using a new system that has a AI layer.
They using a whole lot more than that.
A lot of them are using this company called Onsite. But this AI component is new that they're using to look at your score. And they are also making up their own score for you. I applied for some apartments and I got denied. I know what my score is. My score is not extremely, extremely low, but it damn sure ain't the best. So I'm already knowing that I'm going to go in having to pay a double deposit, which is fine. I have perfect rental history. I have never been late, not one time in my entire life have I ever been late. I've never owed a bill to an apartment. None of that. Nothing. Make well over 3 times the amount of rent, which is hard to do in this economy, okay? Make over the amount. What's on my credit? It's people out here with student loan debt bigger than what's on my credit. The only thing that I have on there, and I don't mind saying it, is credit cards.
Now we starting to get to the truth.
Took care of, need to, probably could take care of it within a year, but I have not done so yet.
Why is that? You make all this money.
And they denied me. The score that they gave me was almost 150 points less.
That's your real score.
Than what my actual credit score is. And of course, when they provided this information, it was through email. So I call and I'm like, how did y'all come up with this score? And that's when she goes on to lightly explain, because she couldn't even fully explain why I was denied. She said, well, the company that we're using, they're coming up with this score. I'm like, okay, I need more information as to how y'all came up with it. She was like, well, you're going to have to call them. Call them. They're telling me that we just go off of an AI model and it factors in all of these things. Now, after everything I've told y'all, how is it that you're coming up with this score? No one is able to explain. And it is so hard for them to justify giving you this score. So with all that being said, the future is going to be very interesting. Whenever we have companies solely using AI in determining people's life decisions and livelihood off of AI that they do not know how it works and they can't explain it.
Well, you are in luck today, young lady. I am going to explain how you were not able to qualify for this apartment. For those of you that might find yourself in this situation, landlords are getting serious about renting you an apartment. So watch this video to the end so that you can get some insight into that proprietary algorithm so that you won't find yourself in this situation. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Robert. And on this channel, we simplify the home loan process. Let go. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, landlords, property managers aren't just asking, can you pay the rent anymore? What they really want to know is, will you pay your rent on time, every month? They want to know, will you stay long enough to avoid turnover, aka they want to make money? They want to know, will you take care of the property? And last but most definitely not least, they want to know, you going to be somebody that's easy to deal with. You make good money, but still get denied. Why? Because the landlord is not just looking for how much you make, they're looking for how much money you have left over. They're not picking the best person, they're picking the least risky person. Now, this frustrates a lot of good renters, just like the lady that we just spoke about, because you're making good money, but you still get denied. The deal is this: the landlord isn't looking at your income. They're looking at what you have left over, the leftover money that you have in a month. So you can make $100,000 a month. If you have an expensive life, you look risky. Another metric landlords really put a lot of weight on is your payment history. It might be okay, but it's not perfect. One late payment equals doubt. They don't see your effort, they see the pattern. And that's basically what she's saying in her rebuttal. Hey, they've got people with more student loan debt than I have, but she's not addressing her behavior, her pattern of paying late. She said it herself. She knows she has some past credit cards and things of that nature that she needs to address, but she just hasn't. And that is the pattern. That's a problem pattern going forward. And that's what landlords are looking at. They're also looking at how often you've moved, even if it wasn't your fault. Because to a landlord, you look unstable. Stability is the key. If you find yourself in that situation, you got to make sure you're able to give a good explanation. The fourth thing that's being looked at, your payment habits. How often you make your payments. Again, it's all about patterns, behavior, your communication. I could just tell that's somebody I don't know if I want to deal with. The young lady that we just spoke, she wants to speak to a manager. She wants to talk to everybody and find out every reason why she wasn't denied. But she stated the reason: her credit is not in the best place. And they want to know, landlords want to know before you are rented to, if you are a lifestyle fit. It's just truth of the matter. Now, here's the question that I want to ask you guys. If you have to jump through all of the hoops that we just mentioned to rent a property just to live in someone else's house, why not put that same effort into owning your own property? Good question, right? Let me tell you a quick story. I'll call her Sarah because she might be watching the video. But Sarah is currently paying $1,800 a month in rent. She takes care of the property that she's living in like it's her own. But every year, rent goes up, there's new rule changes, and she has to requalify just to stay in the house. Now, Sarah's been renting for 5 years. She's paid well over $100,000. And that $100,000 has supplied shelter, no doubt. But she owns nothing. For those of you that are real technical, she controls nothing. It's $100,000 out of the window. Here's what most renters don't realize. The same thing landlords want: stable income, decent credit, and consistency or stability are the same things that can help you buy your own home. Now, most of you are closer than you even realize. Here are some of the limiting beliefs that I hear a lot of people talk about that aren't true. Number one, you need perfect credit. You don't need a perfect credit history. Like the young lady was saying, her credit history is probably great enough for her to purchase her own home if that's what she wants to do and not have to deal with all of these things that you have to go through when you're trying to rent. You don't always need to put a 20% or greater down payment. That's not true either. There's programs, especially for first-time home buyers, where you can put as little as 3% as the down payment plus your closing costs, 3.5%, 5% if you qualify for certain types of loans, VA or USDA, no down payment. You're just dealing with closing costs. So that's not true. There are programs most people don't even know exist to help you get over that barrier as far as down payment and closing costs. If you're tired of being judged, getting denied, or feeling stuck renting, I want to help you look at your situation the right way. This is what I'll show you. What actually is holding you back, if anything, and what would it take for you to own your own home if that's what you want to do. There's a link in the description of this video. Schedule a free 15-minute consultation so I can hear what it is that you're trying to achieve. Let's be good to one another. Let us let grace abound. And oh, by the way, I picked these 2 videos for you to watch to help continue your education until the time you're ready to reach out. You guys stay blessed. Indeed.